Good morning, everyone. Welcome to DTL Driving the Line, your sports betting brand of record. Great to have you aboard here to start your week. A happy Monday morning for everyone. Hope yesterday's NFL action treated everybody well. I'm Jonathan Zaslow. I'm in for the coach today. He's traveling the country. He's doing golf. He's hosting events. Coach will be back with us tomorrow morning. But this train never stops. We keep it rolling. Got some winning plays for you. We got a game tonight, which will wrap up week 14 of Monday Night Football. And, of course, an action-packed schedule of driving the line throughout the week. Every morning, Monday through Friday, you're catching us right here, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And, of course, you're watching us on Stadium as well. And DTL the podcast. That's right. Every day, Monday through Friday, you can check out DTL the podcast. So a lot happening. We're going to keep everybody up to speed on all the action throughout the week. Love having the crew aboard. First, let's take a quick glance at what the picks looked like yesterday. All right, AB, decent job there. Charles, excellent job. You see everybody on this page. A little bit of a rough day. That's okay. But you know what? You had a rough day yesterday. That doesn't mean that today you don't turn it around. That's the best part of tuning into Driving the Line. If you had a rough day yesterday, we're going to help you get back on track here today. So, without further ado, let's bring aboard our pal AB. Let's get this show rolling. Of course, AB, good morning. Nice Los Angeles Dodgers side. It pops off that screen. That's a fresh cap right there. It's very, very blue.
It is very blue, man. Z-Man, how we doing, buddy? You doing a good job, man. Great job hosting last night. Crushed it already today.
I appreciate that. I'm sure you're feeling good. You got your Tennessee Vols baseball shirt on. You must be pleased with the Vols as far as the college football playoff goes. We'll get to a little bit of that as well, but you must be feeling great about this weekend.
Everything is great there in Knoxville, Tennessee. Nashville's a different story. The Titans are a poverty franchise, but other than that, we're making it through.
Brutal. Last night, did you stay up for the end of the game last night? We'll get to that coming up with all of our pals, but Sunday Night Football last night, 19-17 for anyone who did not catch the entire game. The Chiefs, this team's got, I'm not going to say 9 lives. They have 1,000 lives. This team, they won't die.
They won't die. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. I've never seen a team that lives on the edge, and it works out every single time, not even missing once. But that's either the sign of a really good team, which it is, right? But also, number two, analytically, they make no sense. They make no sense at all. It's crazy. It's fun to watch.
I would almost say for a team, who's going to be in the playoffs, playing close games, it's a good thing because you're learning how to win in those situations. But this team doesn't need to learn how to win. They're back-to-back Super Bowl champions. And it feels to me, you keep playing with fire like this, you're going to wind up getting picked off at some point.
You would think. I know. That's the thing is it's like a fumble, right? All right, you've got a football. It's oblong, right? So when the ball hits the ground, it could go any way, right? Sometimes it bounces your way. Sometimes it doesn't bounce your way. It's like the Chiefs have 12 fumbles, and they get the fumble recovery all 12 times. I've never seen anything like it, man. It's crazy.
Do you find them frustrating? Obviously, Coach is a huge Chiefs fan. Are you at the point now where you're rooting for them? Are they annoying to you?
No, only because, if I were a fan of a team that, if I were a Bills fan, okay, and, we're in it and competing against this team, oh, my God, I'd be losing my mind. You know what I mean? I could imagine being a player on the Chargers. They were all just what the hell, man? You can't make any mistakes. But like I said, I'm a fan of a team that's a poverty franchise. So, I'm just surprised we're even in the same league as these teams. But, yeah, man, I could see it. If I were a player on the opposite sideline, dude, I would just be like, what the hell is going on? Why does this always work? What was that? 9 straight AFC West titles? 9 straight? Yeah. That's insane, man.
Yeah. So tonight, week 14 wraps with the Bengals and the Cowboys. That matchup probably looked super juicy at the beginning of the season. Not as much now. Doesn't matter. There are plays to be made for tonight's contest. So that's going to bring us to the Howie Schwab crew play of the day. Look how handsome Howie is there in his St. John's basketball jersey. Take it away, AB. What are our options for the crew tonight?
Yeah, man. Howie always looking sharp. All right. Bengals -5.5. You go in Cowboys +5.5. You going with the over 49.5? You going under 49.5? Polls in the chat. Vote now. Update as we always do at the end of the show. And Z-Man, we got to give a shout out. Our man, Big Tommy C, got in the club.
Yeah.
DeAndre
How
Hopkins.
about that? DeAndre Hopkins. I think he was plus 1,100 maybe, which feels he's DeAndre Hopkins.
I know, right?
Plus 1,100. So Tommy, he got in the club last night. Looking forward to hearing Coach's reaction. Coach is waiting outside the club. They're never letting him in. Tommy's in the club now, popping bottles. So we'll get Coach's reaction to our pal Tommy Carlucci getting in the club last night. All right, let's bring aboard our pals here and get to the picks. Oh, look at these handsome faces there. Look at the punums. We have our pal Rafael Esparza joining us here on a Monday morning. How are you, Rafael?
I am doing well. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, AB, Charles. What a weird, congratulations to Tommy, but boy, what a weird evening he had. Gets in the club, but then his Yankees strike out with Soto. Feel bad for Tommy because he had one of the weirdest evenings probably on record.
Are you annoyed, Rafael? Do you get bothered by the Chiefs continuing to squeak by on a night like last night?
I get bothered on how bad the football games are that the Chiefs play. They're so always close. They're so boring, kicking field goals. I want to see a Lions game where why are they not taking points and all that? Yesterday's game was just boring, but there were some also boring games yesterday. So, but hats off to the Chiefs, or I'm sorry, the Kansas City coaches.
Good to have you aboard here this morning, Rafael. And of course, our pal is Charles. How are you this morning, Chuck?
And Zaslow crew, great. Big shout out to Tommy making it in the club. It was a late night last night, christening him into the club, but it was fun time. So couldn't be better. Excited for today. I know it's a light sports day, but we're definitely going to make the best of it.
That's right. Well, you're gonna have the footy picks for us. It is a light day, light NBA, obviously one NFL. You're gonna have some great action for us today.
Always, Z-Man. Plus, you're my lucky charm. It seems like every time you're on, I tend to have good luck. So I look forward to your presence each Monday.
Oh, how about that? All right, that makes me feel very, very good. Real quick, though, guys, speaking of Sunday Night Football last night, actually, it was the Fox game of the week, the Bills and the Rams. If we're looking at the MVP chase here, you look at Josh Allen. I mean, that's the kind of game you have to have if you wind up losing still. He had 6 total touchdowns yesterday evening, AB. 3 through the air, 3 on the ground. Obviously, Sean McDermott, major mistake where they go for the QB sneak on first down with just over a minute left. They don't get it, and they have to use one of the timeouts to stop the clock there. If they saved that timeout, they could have had a chance where they ended up forcing the Rams to punt. Big mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I'll tell you this. Tom Brady nailed it. He called that immediately. And you know who else did? Us on the show who were saying, kick the field goal right now. Do not mess around. Kick the field goal. You're going to need it anyway. And then go get the ball back. But, look, again, it's tough, man. Like, I couldn't imagine being in that moment, as a play caller, as a coach. It's got to be tough. Josh Allen having those numbers in a loss are incredible. And also, we got to give a shout out, to Sean McVay. That's a hell of a football coach, man. Like, the Rams shouldn't be, competing in that style of game, paper on paper, and they do because he's a heck of a coach. And Matthew Stafford's having a hell of a year.
Rafael?
Josh Allen is now minus $4 to win the MVP. Some shops have $5, and he probably boosted his odds on a losing game yesterday. So it's Allen's to lose right now.
All right, guys, let's get to the picks here. Let's all get back on the winning track. Let's get to some green check marks here. AB, coming to you first. Give us some winners.
Yes, sir. All right, so first off, 2 picks for tonight's game, Bengals and Cowboys. We're going to take the Bengals first half team total over 13.5 at minus 115. What else do the Bengals have to do but just go out and throw the ball around the field? Joe Burrow and the offense. All right, just go up and score. There ain't no point to do anything else. You don't have to worry about punting. You don't have to worry about 4th downs anymore. Just go score. Who cares? We're also going to take the Bengals in the game. Team touchdowns over 3.5 at plus 135 because, again, why would you be kicking field goals? Who cares? Just go score touchdowns. You don't have any pressure whatsoever. And then we're going to jump to the college football playoff. Notre Dame team touchdowns over 3.5 against Indiana at -120. And then Tennessee against Ohio State, team total over 19.5. Yeah, I'll take that bet.
All right, so let me ask you here, AB. Like you like those numbers now, even though the games are not for a while. What should the strategy be there for folks who are wondering, hey, do I put money on it now? Or you can always wait a little bit. The number may change in your favor. So how do you decide what to do there?
Yeah, so what I like to do is start off any game, all right? College, pro, baseball, football, whatever. I just like to whiteboard what I think the score is going to be, okay? And then let's just say 30-27, all right? Well, then I start thinking, okay, well, that's 4 touchdowns for one team, 3 touchdowns for another, and a field goal. Then I start breaking down of how you go about getting to these numbers, right? Tennessee team total over 19.5. We'll use that as an example. Do I think that Tennessee could get 3 touchdowns in this game or 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals? Yeah, I do. Because you know what? You know who has the most pressure on them of any coach that's in the college football playoff? That's Ryan Day and Ohio State, because they better come out and score fast, and they better keep scoring fast and keep doing it over and over and over. And if things get out of hand or get out of favor, those fans will turn on him, man. Like, they're ready to be done with him. So that's kind of how I look at it. And then Notre Dame, they've just been a scoring wagon all year. As soon as they lost to Northern Illinois, after that, dude, they've been covering totals by themselves. Now, doesn't mean that I think that they blast Indiana. Indiana can score too, right? It's going to be a fun game. But I do think that Notre Dame gets over 3.5 touchdowns, because you know what? There is no tomorrow. There's no sitting on the ball. You just keep going. So take a look at second halves as well in these games.
And of course, that could be the kind of game where weather is a major, major factor. Raphael, what do you got for us today?
We're going with the Cowboys team total touchdowns over 2.5 -105. Not because of the Cowboys offense, even though they won back-to-back games and Cooper Rush has been looking much better. But the Bengals defense is awful. They're giving up 34.8 points per game in their losses. I just don't trust the Bengals defense. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. The first 5 just dropped on this game, and we'll probably see the total move to 50 by the time tonight's show, so grab that now. And then we're going to go with the NBA. There was one NBA game. Jalen Brunson over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists, -120. Big Cat for the Knicks is still questionable. If he doesn't play, then I really like this play, because the last time Big Cat sat down, Brunson had 31 points, so I think he's going to have an overall great game. Look for his assist to push this total as a winner for us.
Good job out of Raphael as well. Getting you set tonight as well for Monday Night Football, which is Bengals Cowboys to wrap up Week 14. DTL prime time live tonight. That's coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern time this evening. Make sure you set yourself a note. You don't want to miss that. You don't want to be late. Charles, you got the footy for us. Give us some winners.
English Premier League, West Ham versus Wolves. Matchday 15 wraps up with 2 teams highly motivated for points, and with Wolves conceding 2 or more goals in 14 of their last 17 matches. I'll take West Ham team total over 1.5 goals, plus the both teams to score an over 2.5 that is also cashed in 10 of Wolves' last 13 affairs.
Got to be honest with you, Charles. A little bit disappointed. I love when you throw me some over-under on corners. You knew that I was hosting today. You knew that I was filling in for a coach. You can't come up with a corners total for me today?
Was that close, Zaslow? That close.
I mean, I love it. So let's get one more glimpse real quick, guys. So everyone who's viewing right now, you can see what the picks are for today. AB, Charles, Raphael out there giving us winners for today. You got a little football, you got a little footy, and even a Knicks prop there that Raphael is throwing out there for you. Excellent job, guys. And of course, today being a Monday, there's a lot happening. DTL right now. We got DTL Primetime Live tonight, of course, and every day this week, Monday through Friday, we always have DTL, the podcast, where we cover a plethora of topics, all right? You're not getting any more info anywhere else than you are here on Driving the Line. Coming up, we'll have our Monday mishaps. We don't want to go anywhere. We are live on Stadium. All right, all you degenerates out there who are watching us live on YouTube, no breaks. No breaks for us, no breaks for you guys. And, of course, our pals AB, Raphael, and Charles, no breaks for them either. Guys, yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles, they wind up winning 22-16. They hang on against the Carolina Panthers. We just talked about Josh Allen and his MVP case, 6 touchdowns yesterday and a loss. But Saquon Barkley became the Philadelphia Eagles' all-time single-season leading rusher. Can both things be true, AB, where the Eagles made the right decision clearly to bring aboard and pay Saquon Barkley, and the Giants also made the right decision by moving on?
Absolutely. Look, man, just because of what we see Saquon doing with the Eagles doesn't mean that he would be doing that with the Giants. I'll give you a perfect example. All right, Derrick Henry having a great year with the Ravens. He wouldn't be doing that in Tennessee. He doesn't have the offensive line for it. He doesn't have the team for it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like now, if I were a Giants fan, I would hate losing him. You know what I mean? Like, I would hate losing him, but it's almost like you're on the Titanic. It's like, go save yourself. Go save yourself. Here's a boat just for you. Get on out of here, buddy. So, yeah, I think that, yeah, it's an accurate statement on both sides.
Rafael, I think it's a good point. You make the Derrick Henry point. You make the Saquon Barkley point. Heck, throw Josh Jacobs in there as well. All of those guys were really good on their previous teams last year. All those teams stunk with them. Those same teams, they still stink this year without them.
I love how you mentioned those 3 running backs, and look at the teams that they used to play on, and look at their offensive line. That's the reason why they're all 3 of those teams, the Raiders, Giants, their offensive line are horrendous. That's why Barkley's having a tremendous year. We all understand that the Eagles always have a great offensive line. People thought we were going to take a step backwards with the loss of their powerful center that's on ESPN every blink of an eye that I put on ESPN, but that offensive line is still rolling. I think that's why Barkley looks really good.
So coming up here, like I said, we're going to have our Monday mishaps. We let you guys know something nutty that may have happened to us over the weekend or something that we are not pleased with. We are live on Stadium in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everyone. Joining us here on Stadium, driving the line, getting you the winning picks for today, not just for Monday Night Football coming up this evening, Bengals and Cowboys. But let's bring aboard our pals here. We got AB, we got Rafael, we got Charles. Every Monday, you don't get it anywhere else. Every Monday, we have Monday mishaps where we let you know. And by the way, our crew who is in the comments section, love hearing from you guys. You want to give us your Monday mishaps, please feel free to throw it up there in the chat and make sure you're voting in the chat for today's crew play of the day. Howie Schwab's crew play of the day. We will recircle back to that toward the end of the show, and we'll give you who we are all playing together. So again, love your comments. And if you want to let us know what your Monday mishaps are as well, AB, we'll start with you. I got one as well. We'll circle back to me. All right, everybody calm down. AB, what do you like for Monday's mishaps?
Yeah, so first off, all right, well, first off, the only one, the College Football Playoff Committee, right? They send out a video on Saturday of them all together at the hotel in the ballroom watching the games. And go look on Twitter. I wish I had it in front of me. They've got one big screen on a table. It's in a hotel ballroom, okay? No one looks like they're happy. It looks like a hostage negotiation. They've got one TV and then 2 Dell monitors that you would see in a 90s office here watching the games. And it was looking at it like, we are making $20 million a team decisions on 2 Dell 19-inch LCD monitors. What the hell are we doing? It was crazy. And then it panned around and showed everybody no one was looking at each other. No one was communicating. There was no food in the room. One guy had a Perrier he was drinking. It looked like the most miserable place on earth. And I was like, why would you tweet this?
They look like they hate football. I mean, you're right. Can you give me some nachos? Can you give me something to dip a chip into? Can we have a couple drinks sitting around? Can we look like we're not having the worst night of our life here? You're 100% right, AB. Rafael, Monday mishap, what do you have?
AB was correct. It looked like everyone was getting a prostate exam at halftime. That's how bad everyone looked like in there. But my mishap is just bad football we had to watch yesterday. No offense, AB's Titans looked bad yesterday. The Bears, first half, 4 yards, 5 punts in the first half. Charles Saints Giants game was awful. When are we going to have some really good football? Because the only really good football games lately are primetime games, which are on primetime. Don't forget to watch us an hour before the kickoff of those games. But some bad football yesterday. I want some good football. Yesterday, awful.
Charles, Monday mishap. What are you focused on?
The good old Texas Longhorns losing to Georgia twice after barely scoring 19 points and on 390 yards, barely getting to overtime while picking up 11 penalties along the way. Then once in overtime, deciding to take shots into the end zone while they could still get a first down. And then when everyone knew Georgia was going to run the ball with an injured quarterback in, they still couldn't stop that from the 5-yard line. So bad look for Texas and the representatives from the SEC West.
I was at the SEC championship this weekend. Phenomenal second. I mean, first half was a little rough, but the second half, phenomenal. The finish of the game, unbelievable. Overtime. I think it was the first ever time the overtime was had in the SEC championship game. And Georgia winds up winning. They beat Texas for the second time. My Monday mishap, though, I will tell you, involves what happened when I got to Atlanta, when I got to the SEC championship on Friday. Now, I could tell you guys, I'm very with it, all right? I don't make like simple mistakes. Like I'm never in the wrong seat on the airplane. No one ever has to tap me on the shoulder. Like I'm not aloof. Nobody has to tap me on the shoulder. Hey, sir, you're in my seat. I don't make mistakes like that. But my record took a little bit of a hit as I arrived in Atlanta on Friday. I'm walking through Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport there. And before I go to get an Uber, I got to stop into the bathroom. I got an earpiece in. I'm listening to shows or whatever. I'm probably on my phone as well. I walk into the bathroom and I didn't just walk in the beginning of the bathroom. I'm deep into the bathroom. And I had to do a double take. Not only I noticed where are the urinals, and then I take a look around. Oh, wow. This bathroom is full of all women. So for the very first time in my life, I'm full on in the women's bathroom. You had the custodial worker. Hey, you don't belong in here. I'm like, I'm sorry. I turned around. I'm walking out. I was very, very embarrassed. AB, you ever accidentally walk into the women's bathroom and it never happened to me before? And like I said, it wasn't just a peek in. I was full on looking for some place to do my business. Very embarrassing.
Yeah, and the funniest part is that no one says anything. They're all
know the custodial worker.
Yeah, that's it. Like everyone's just looking like,
yep.
Is it about to go down? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah. So, that was my Monday mishap. I was very embarrassed, full on in the women's bathroom. All right, guys, let's get to a little segment we like to call here on DTL, Educate and Entertain. All right, guys, I don't know if you saw, but there is a player in baseball called Juan Soto. He's one of the best hitters in baseball, maybe one of the best hitters ever, we're going to say at some point. The Yankees, World Series, Soto, he was pretty good throughout the postseason. Well, typical of a Scott Boras client, he's looking for the most money, and he signs with the New York Mets, not the Yankees, the Mets. 15 years, wait for it, $765 million. AB, what stands out to you the most about this deal?
What I'm interested in is that, from what I understand, the Yankees were pretty much right there with the money, right? So he actively chose the Mets over the Yankees. Now, I'm not saying that as a negative against the Yankees. I'm not in his head, right? But that part interests me, right? Like, and it felt like Aaron Judge kind of knew weeks ago that he was going to be gone. So I'm interested in that. But the one good thing, if you're a Yankees fan, is that at least he went to the Mets. Now, yes, it's in New York, and you're going to kind of feel like some egg on your face, whatever, but he's in the National League. It's a lot better than him going to an AL team. You know what I mean? So if I were a Yankees fan, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, who can we go spend some money on now? But yeah, like that part interests me, that it wasn't just a money decision. You know what I mean? Like, he actively went to the Mets. So either they did a hell of a job recruiting him, or is there something we don't know about, Yankees side?
Raphael, what do you think it's more about for Mets owner Steve Cohen, who likes to throw his weight/money around? Is it about trying to build the best team, Or like AB said, the Yankees were right there as well. You just want to outbid the Yankees.
Some of the people I talked to late last night and this morning were telling me that the reason why he chose the Mets because they told him we're going to grab pitching now after you come to Queens, New York. So look for Corey Burns, who has the same agent. Look for Max Fried, who has the same agent. They're going to focus on pitching. Now, does that mean some of their other free agents that the Mets have are going to go sour? Is the Big Bear going to leave New York and go somewhere else because they're going to be focusing because he needs a contract? I see the Mets making not one, but two massive pitching changes. And the Yankees, they always make pitching changes. It just doesn't work. I think the Mets are going to grab some pitching now.
Charles, Juan Soto, 15 years, $765 million. How about the idea that the money that they're guaranteeing Juan Soto is more money than most of our professional sports franchises here in North America were purchased for by their current ownership?
It's a ridiculous number. Plus, he once he passes a physical, he gets a $75 million sign-on bonus. And another key factor is that after 5 years, he can also opt out. So I don't know if the Yankees had that option on the table. So he has a little bit, looks like a little bit more flexibility with this contract. But yeah, the amount of money is insane. It passes Ohtani. So yeah, now officially the highest paid player in the MLB.
15 years, $765 million, Juan Soto. Also here on Educate and Entertain, the biggest story over the weekend was the college football playoff, the rankings. We all know what's going on now. And as you see here, top 4 conference champions and Boise State and Arizona State were able to sneak in, getting buys because SMU lost. The big story here, SMU now gets in. Clemson essentially steals the bid from Alabama. The committee still felt SMU good enough to be an at-large. AB, do you have a problem with SMU over Alabama?
No, I didn't, right? I thought that, honestly, it could have been Miami, right, that gets in that spot, right? I think that who you have to give credit to is the ACC commissioner pleading his case and saying, you screwed me last year with Florida State and putting in Alabama, all right? If you do it to me again with both either SMU or Miami, I am going rogue, and I am going to make your life a living hell. Do you ever want to win anything in college basketball again? Because guess what? Duke and North Carolina and everybody else are getting free rides. I will make your life a living hell across the board. Do not screw me over again. And you know what? The ACC commissioner, that politicking, which went on with every team and every school and all that, man earned his money that day, right? So, yeah, I have no problem with it. Could have been Miami as well. I wouldn't have argued that either, as long as it was an ACC, because, quite frankly, you can't screw them twice like that.
Yeah, Rafael, I think it was pretty important for the precedent to be set here with the 12-team playoff by the committee, letting everybody know you can lose your conference championship game, and we're not going to hold that against you.
Yeah, that was so big. And SMU, how they played in the second half, especially the fourth quarter, was so impressive. You couldn't get them out. I agree. I think Miami could have been the other one, but I'm very disappointed on how Alabama reacted right after. Oh, well, maybe we're going to relook at our schedule and stuff like that. Oh, maybe we'll pick easier plays. You guys didn't lose games to easier plays. You guys lost games to your conference. It's not like they lost to Central Michigan or Northern Illinois like Notre Dame. They lost to Oklahoma. They lost to teams in their SEC. So I'm a little bit embarrassed for how Alabama was yesterday.
Charles, how upset should Alabama be?
They shouldn't be at all. They should be honored they were even in the conversation. You can't go to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma and lose the way they did, even though they had a stronger schedule as far as their opponents. But still, you can't lose that many games and have a gripe. I was happy to see SMU make it. I'm with AB. I wouldn't have been mad to see Miami make it. I think they both had great years.
I'll tell you, one of the biggest shockers, Clemson winds up winning the ACC. They're obviously the 12 seed, and all the talk throughout the year, especially the beginning of the season when week number 1 and Georgia crushes Clemson 34-3. Dabo Swinney, no transfer portal, won't change up his ways. What do you know? Look at Clemson and Dabo Swinney right in the mix like usual. Very, very impressive. Coming up next, we're here on Stadium. We're going to give you some over-unders for tonight's contest. You don't want to go anywhere. We got some winners for you. We're going to be back after this on Stadium. All right, for everybody who's sticking around with us, of course, here on YouTube, you don't go anywhere. We don't go anywhere. Let's stick with the college football playoff here, guys. This is the first year. There's reason to believe that they could change, maybe tweak the rules of how they format, maybe even add a couple of teams. AB, if you could change something with this current format, what would it be?
Well, I think for me, it would be finding out about these conference championship games. Do they matter? Do they not matter? How do we go about if you're not in them, right? You know, they said that you can't move up. You can't do it. What if you're Notre Dame? Can you never get a bye? Like, you're never allowed to get a bye unless you join a conference, right? Like, I think trying to figure that part out. But, you know, to be honest with you, I don't have a complaint at all. It's the first time we've ever done this. All right, you know what? It's kind of going off without a hitch. And the fact that it went to 12 teams and we came down to one spot was the big argument. They did it pretty good, man. In a sport where, understand, college football has never been, agreed upon of national champ. We've had 18 different polls that have named national champ. Like,
we used to share national champ. They used to
Exactly.
share a national championship.
Yeah, it's been this way forever, right? So the fact that they got it down to one spot, I give them credit, man. Not easy to do.
Raphael, would you change anything?
No, I wouldn't change anything because the same argument we're hearing now is the same argument college basketball has when their bracket comes out. Oh, you lost your college, or would like the number one team losing their first game in the ACC conference championship. We're still complaining about that. So, no, I think it's cool. I mean, they're going to tweak a little bit. I just want to know, I'm going to vote right now that AB should be our college football bracketologist like college basketball has. I'm voting for AB for that job.
Charles, anything different you would do here? 30 seconds.
Not at all. I'm happy to see that we finally got the 12 teams. So I couldn't be more delighted to see the process. So yeah, maybe once it's over, we may have a few tweaks we want to make. But as far as it is right now, yeah, I'm more than happy with it.
I think it's very similar with the 68-team NCAA tournament with March Madness. If we're complaining about who didn't get in, you're sitting at 69 or 70. Get the hell out of here. I feel the same way about this one. 12 teams is a good number. We're back on Stadium in 5. Welcome back here on Stadium. Of course, this is Driving the Line, your sports betting brand of record. Make sure you check out Driving the Line, the podcast, DTL the podcast, Monday through Friday, coming at you. Releases around noonish every day. You can check that out. And of course, coming up tonight with Monday Night Football, DTL Prime Time Live. That's coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as well. You want to make sure you catch us there. And there you have it right there. Monday Night Football tonight. Bengals, Cowboys, Joe Burrow, lots of points. Defense gives up lots of points. The total is 49.5. The Bengals are a 5.5 point favorite. Cowboys money line is plus 190. AB, we'll start with you here, and I'm actually going to come at you from the Cowboys perspective here. Sitting at 5-7, and the final playoff spot right now is being held by the Commanders, who are 2 up in the loss column. Dallas right now does have the head-to-head, and they play one more time. So Dallas can kind of control their own fate in that scenario right there. Are the Cowboys still in this thing?
As weird as it sounds, they are. They're still in the playoff race. Now, do they get in? I don't think so. But statistically, they are still in this thing. Now, with this game tonight, my question is this, and think about it from all perspectives, okay? Total, spreads, money line, but a lot of player props. My question is this. How much do these teams care about fourth downs, 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s, right? Like, I think that this could be a game that's not really played normal football style, right? Why would you care about 4th and 1? You're like, oh, we need to punt. Who cares? Just go for it. You know what I mean? Like, so from a props perspective, think about that. You could be getting less, attempts of field goal kickers, all right? Less punts, more offensive plays, rush attempts from quarterbacks, all right? You could be looking at that. So just keep that in your head. And again, I don't know the answer because we're not one of these head coaches, but I think that you're going to see a lot more aggressive plays on 3rd and 4th down, because why the hell would you do it any other way?
Raphael, like I just mentioned there, the Cowboys, and AB seemingly agrees that the Cowboys can kind of talk themselves into the idea that they're still in this thing with the wild card. But Mike McCarthy, it's been a conversation going into the season. Lame duck coach, last year of his contract. Is Mike McCarthy playing himself possibly into an extension?
If they win 3 straight, which the bettors are doing it right now, because now DraftKings just moved this number to 5 and a total is 50, then I think he gets that extension. 3 straight winning games. I think it's going to be very impressive for Dallas. And they're starting to play better at home, which we all were laughing at them at home as they were giving up double-digit points left and right, but they're playing much better at home. So it's going to be very interesting. If they win this game, what do they do with Mike McCarthy and the rest of that coaching staff? Because all that coaching staff has 1-year contracts.
Charles, what do we think about tonight? Like I mentioned there, the Bengals, they score a ton of points, but their defense gives up a ton of points. Who do we like this evening?
I was originally liking the Bengals, but as it's getting closer to game time, I'm liking the Cowboys in this spot, especially in a higher scoring game. I think the Cowboys are going to put up their share of the points. I like their team total, and I see this totals also went to 50 on some books, and yeah, like Raphael says, dropped down to 5. So yeah, I like the Cowboys to keep this within the number and put up plenty of points in a high scoring game.
Cowboys at 5-7, Bengals at 4-8. You can make the case that the Cowboys are in the mix still, believe it or not, for the wild card in the NFC. You cannot make the same case for the Cincinnati Bengals. If we were talking about disappointing teams in the league, I mean, obviously the first one comes to your mind. If you believed in the Jets in the first place, the first one that comes to mind, I didn't believe in them. The first one that comes to mind would be the Jets, but the Bengals have to be very high atop that list of disappointing teams this year. All right, so with Monday Night Football tonight closing out Week 14, let's do some over-unders. Let's see what we got here tonight. All right, so let's start, AB, with Joe Burrow. Over-under 276.5 passing yards. Are you willing to say that he does not throw for more than that in what could be a shootout tonight?
I don't want to bet against it, but damn, that's a big number, man. Like, and they will run the football. Look, I'll say under, but I'm not going to bet it. That's tough because you hit 2 big passes, dude. You're right there.
Raphael, Burrow?
I'm going to under as well. 276. That's a big number because I think they do run the ball on the Dallas D. So I'm going to say under 276.
What about you, Charles?
I like the over. I think just because he has the ability to get the big strikes with Higgins and Chase. So, yeah, I like the over 276.5 in this one.
Yeah, I like the over as well. I don't want to go under with Burrow. Like, he's maybe the best pocket passer in the league. And between the weapons that you have, Higgins and Chase, and Cowboys defense, especially in Dallas, we've seen they don't defend anybody. So I'm going to go Burrow over. Huge game for him, 276.5 yards. How about Cooper Rush, though, AB? Can he possibly keep pace?
He can. Cooper Rush is a better quarterback than we give him credit for. He is, right? But I'm going to go under because his average is generally a 205-yard passing game, right? Like that's a good day for him. I'll go under just because 235 is too much.
You're going under just because you want to win. You want to win money. That's why that's the reason. That's why you're going under. Raphael, what about you?
Well, that's not a good reason. In Cooper, I trust, and I'm going over 234.5 because I like money as well. So I think the Cowboys have a big game through the air. So I like Cooper Rush over 234.5.
Charles?
I'm on the under also. He's actually hit this number 2 of his last 3 games. I can see him. I see these receivers, receiving numbers keep going up also. So, yeah, I liking that over 234.5.
I'm going under 234.5 for Cooper Rush. I'm not putting any money on Cooper Rush. Give me a break. All right. What else do we got here? Let's look at the running backs. Chase Brown first on Cincinnati side. AB, over under 74.5 rushing yards.
God, this is hard. I'll go under. That's still a big number. I think that he'll have a day, but I'm going under. I just don't see it.
Raphael?
Yeah, really big number. I'm going under because I think the quarterbacks, both of them are going to have big games. That's why I like the over, but I'll go under 74.5.
Charles?
I'm going to go under. He's actually went under in 5 of his last 7. I see them taking away the run game, so that's why I like a pass-heavy game from the Bengals.
Yeah, I like a pass-heavy game as well. I'm going to go under with Chase Brown, under 74.5. Rico Dowdle, though. AB, I dare you to take the over. I dare you. Go ahead. I dare you.
I'll take it. You know why?
Wow.
Here, I'll tell you why. I think the Cincinnati's defense, all right, they're going to rush the quarterback, and they're going to drop everybody in a nickel and say, you know what? We think we can stop your run game straight up, right? Like, we don't have to put extra personnel down here. We're going to rush the quarterback, and we're going to drop everybody back. So it could be trouble throwing, could be trouble in the pocket. But Rico Dowdle could have some open yardage here. I'll take Rico over 67.5.
Raphael, you willing to play it as well?
No, I'm taking the under because I can't take any Dallas Cowboy running back all season long over. They've been awful as running backs, but now that means that he'll have 100 yards rushing tonight.
Charles?
I'm going to also go with the under, even though I think he could be out of the backfield screen games. We could see him on the receiving end, but I think he'll be right under that 67.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. Make me put any of my money on the Dallas Cowboy running game. Not a chance. Let's get to the wide receivers here. Who do we have here tonight? Jamar Chase, over under 78.5 receiving yards, AB.
There's no way I'm betting the under. Let me just say that. I'll take the over on 78.5. He could get this in 2 receptions.
Raphael?
I feel like I'm playing card sharks. Give me the over 78.5. There's no way he doesn't hit 90 tonight.
Charles, you're going to dissent from the group. What do you like?
I'll make that over. He could actually get this in 1 reception. So, yeah, love the over for Jamar here.
Very difficult to take unders. I find it difficult to take unders for Cincinnati and difficult to take overs for Dallas. So we're going to go over Jamar Chase, 78.5 receiving yards. CeeDee Lamb, AB, over under 69.5 yards for Dallas.
Yeah, all right, real quick. Do we have any injury situations that we need to be concerned about here? Anybody know off the top of their head? We'll know more today, right? Like, I'm not saying that I've seen anything, but I mean, I can't bet the under. Like, CeeDee Lamb, like, same deal we just talked about with Jamar. The dude catches the ball. You throw it to him, the dude catches it. Yeah, I'll take the over.
Raphael?
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb over 69.5 because I think, again, quarterback's going to have big games through the air, and I think Lamb is one of them.
Chuck?
Yep, I'm over. I've seen this one I had it at 67.5 when I first recorded it. I'm seeing 69.5 now. Yeah, I think he's going to be the main target for Mr. Cooper Rush.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go over. I mean, I'm well under on Dallas's running game. My goodness, what a disaster their running game's been this year. You go into the season, Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott. Give me a break. CeeDee Lamb, though, he's going to get so many targets. And even if they're short routes, even if they're slants, you know, he's a good enough receiver to wind up being able to get, 7, 8, 9 catches, even if it's not a ton of yards per reception. So I'll go CeeDee Lamb over 69.5 yards there. So little over-under totals there for you guys leading up to tonight's Monday Night Football contest. So Bengals and Cowboys this evening. And if you were to think going into the start of this season, you're looking at week 14, Monday Night Football. Bengals are going to be competing for the lead in the AFC North. Cowboys, they're going to be competing for the lead in the NFC East. AB, which one of these teams, assuming that Dallas, you look at them right now, they're 2 games under 500. Which of these teams you think has been more disappointing this year?
Dallas is going to get more attention, but I think the answer is Cincinnati, right? Like, we thought that Cincinnati would be a lot better than what they are. Their defense has just been atrocious. So the offense, really, like, I can't complain about it whatsoever. Dallas, we kind of knew. They didn't do anything in the offseason. They were exactly who they were at the end of the year, and the deficiencies, we all knew about it. So I'll say Dallas in the limelight gets more, hatred for it, but I think the answer is Cincinnati.
Raphael, 20 seconds. You able to make the case that Dallas has been more disappointing?
Agree, because DTL added more talent in the offseason than the Cowboys did.
Charles, you want to make the case Dallas?
Not at all. Bengals most disappointed. I think they were supposed to win 10, 11 games this season. So, yeah, definitely the Bengals.
Well, look, the Cowboys, 3 straight 12-win seasons, and we see that's obviously not happening this year. But your boy, I had Cincinnati winning the AFC. I had a Cincinnati-Detroit Super Bowl. So I certainly have Cincinnati Bengals as the more disappointing team so far this season. All right, coming up, don't go anywhere. What are you doing? Coming up, we're going to have our stat of the day. Our man Raphael, he gets us ready for that every single day. Also, if you missed anything, you don't want to go anywhere, we'll have our whip around. Make sure you're all caught up. We're back on Stadium after this. Yes, all of our pals, everyone part of the crew still hanging out with us, of course, as we are live on YouTube as well. Make sure you check out tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, as we have DTL Prime Time Live leading up to Monday Night Football, Bengals and Cowboys. But I'll tell you what, I don't watch the Manning cast during Monday Night Football. Not that I don't like it, it's just I want to watch the game. You know, it's like I'm honed in on the game. But tonight, I'm stepping a little bit out of my comfort zone because Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, you have the Simpsons broadcast. You know, they did it with, who is it? Green City, whatever they're called. You had it with Toy Story, and now you have the Simpsons Monday Night Football broadcast. Drew Carter, Dan Orlovsky, Mina Kimes, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus. AB, will you check out the Monday Night Football Simpsons broadcast?
I will, and I'll tell you why, man. Like, just from a graphics perspective, I have no idea how these people pull this off. They're like, it is so much work that goes into doing this, and you have to do it live. Like, I just respect whether you like the idea, don't like the idea, you know, of the Simpsons, Nickelodeon, all of them. The amount of talent and work that takes to do this is ungodly. So yeah, respect to them. I'll check it out for sure.
Right. SpongeBob was also one they've done in the past, Nickelodeon. Raphael, will you check out the Simpsons broadcast tonight?
Not only will I check it out, that's how I'm going to watch the whole game because that's my era. Simpsons is my era. I remember when, hey kids, MTV had videos and the Simpsons first introduced themselves on MTV. So I'm excited.
Do you remember what show it was, Raphael? What show did the Simpsons debut on?
It's that female. I can't think of her name. I know.
Tracy Ullman show.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm all in.
That's right. The Tracy Ullman show. I will be checking it out tonight as well. I love when they do those broadcasts. And Drew Carter, who does the play-by-play, he's my pal. He's excellent as well. We're coming back on Stadium in 5 seconds. Yes. Welcome back. DTL here on Stadium tonight. Monday Night Football. Bengals, Cowboys. Look, it may not be the game that we were looking for it to be. That doesn't mean there's not money to be made. There's always green check marks to be had. There's always winning plays out there. Now, want to make sure that you tune in tonight. DTL Primetime Live, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Get you ready for tonight's Monday Night Football contest to wrap up Week 14 in the NFL. Also want to make sure you check out DTL, the podcast, Monday through Friday. Every weekday, we give you a little bit more. We love when everyone who's part of the crew hangs out with us on all the different platforms here that Driving the Line has. But some of you guys are a little bit late. We don't love when you're late, but we're not going to make it. We wanted this to be an inclusive venture. We want to include you. We want to make sure everybody knows what's going on. So you know what? Let's get to the whip around. The whip around, of course, makes sure that everyone knows what our picks are for the day. We give out our picks at the top of the show, but we don't want to exclude anyone who maybe was a few minutes late. I don't know what you got going on. Maybe the kids, they were giving you a difficult time taking them to school this morning. Maybe you had to take a phone call. Maybe you slipped and fell in the bathtub. I don't know what's going on in your life. Maybe you were a few minutes late. We want to make sure that you have all of the winning plays for today. AB, what do you got?
Yeah, might have been watching that Jaguars-Titans 10-6 replay this morning. Got to get that fired up. Look, man, all right, 2 plays tonight. Bengals first half, team total over 13.5. Bengals team touchdowns over 3.5 at plus 135. And then the college football playoff. Notre Dame, team touchdowns over 3.5 at minus 120. And Tennessee against Ohio State, team total over 19.5. And all of these I got at DraftKings. And real quick, the Simpsons, they predict everything. So this should be the one for the bettors, right? Like that's a live play must right there.
AB, of course, brings up the Simpsons because tonight you have the Simpsons broadcast, Monday Night Football. That's ESPN Plus, Disney Plus. I can't wait. I love when they do that. And being that it's the Simpsons, you're just thinking, how are they going to incorporate everybody? It's going to be wild. I can't wait to watch that. Charles, give us a little bit of footy today. Who are the plays?
English Premier League, West Ham and Wolves. I'm going to go with West Ham team total over 1.5, with Wolves conceding 2 or more goals in 14 of their last 17 matches, and the both teams to score and over 2.5. That is also cashed in 10 of Wolves' last 13 affairs.
What do you got for us, Raphael?
We're going with the Cowboys team total touchdowns over 2.5 minus 105. And then give me Jalen Brunson in the NBA for the next over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists minus 120. And every book just moved their total to 50. Now the question is, when we click on tonight on air, is it 51?
So there you go, guys. Those are our plays, and certainly with DTL prime time live tonight, as Raphael says there, the line moves, it changes throughout the day. We're going to be able to give you the adjusted lines, the adjusted numbers. So make sure you're hanging out with us tonight. Now, guys, leading up to the final game tonight, week 14 of the NFL season, we could start to look. We got a good picture. We got a pretty clear picture of what the playoffs look like. But there's always those teams hanging around in the hunt. So, AB, I'll come to you first. Of the teams in the hunt, the Bengals, boy, you're being generous putting them in the hunt. But of the teams in the hunt, 6-7 Indianapolis, 6-7 Miami. If they win out, they're 10-win teams. 10-7 is a nice record. But you look at the teams they're chasing, all 8-5. Those teams right there, they really have to slip up. You could win 10 games if you're Indy and Miami, and I think you're probably still not getting in.
Yeah, you're right. Like that's the tough part, right? The Chargers are a good football team. You look at the Ravens, it's a good football team. The Broncos playing good football. Like if I had to pick one from those three, it would be Miami, because I just think that they have more talent than the Colts, than the Bengals, as we've seen. But yeah, like it would be the Dolphins or nobody. But you're right. Like that could be a tough list to crack. Basically, Ravens, Chargers, Broncos, you're just saying we need to win 2 games. We need to win 2 games. Yeah, 100%. I think that you nailed it right there.
And that's if Miami or Indianapolis go 4-0 the rest of the way. We got to win 2 games. Raphael, can you see any of those teams sneaking in?
Sazzle, you're the host. I'm picking Miami. They're the one that could sneak right in. I don't trust Baltimore, and I don't trust the Chargers' run game as we saw last night. So if I'm going to pick one, of course it's Miami. You're on the show.
That's very nice of you to say, but also because I am Miami, everybody knows I'm 305 till I die. I can also tell you that I never fall for the rope-a-dope. And the Dolphins in the hunt is classic rope-a-dope. Charles, can you see any of those wild card teams right now? Baltimore, Chargers, Broncos slipping up.
It's got to be the Dolphins. If they can get past the Texans, they could possibly win out. Still the 49ers, Browns, and Jets. I could see them ending 10-7 for sure.
Yeah, I got a really hard time believing that any of those teams fall out of the picture. How about the NFC real quick? Let's take a look at who is in the hunt. So you have the Rams. Huge win yesterday. The Rams, though, are more so in the hunt. Well, the Rams have 2 ways in, all right? They're in the hunt for the wild card, and they're also just 1 game back of their division. So they're in the hunt when they can actually potentially host a first-round playoff game. The Atlanta Falcons have lost 4 in a row. You want to talk about disappointing teams. The Falcons are very near the top of that list. And then you also have the Arizona Cardinals, major loss yesterday to the Seahawks at home. AB, can you see any of those 3 teams jumping in the picture?
I think you nailed it on the Rams. Like, not only a wild card team, because they're a good football team, and Matthew Stafford's having a hell of a year. But yeah, they're still competing for the division, right? Like they could be in a spot right there. Yeah, man. It's the Rams for me. They've got a real shot. And Washington, hold on, fellas, hold on for dear life, boys. That could be interesting how they finish as well.
Raphael, does it bother you where you look at the Minnesota Vikings? They would be on the road in the first round. They're 1 game back of the best record in the NFL, and right now they would be on the road in the first round. Does that bother you?
It does, but look at that division. But the Rams, 1-7 on that list, watched Sunday Night Football, and they're scared a lot for what the Rams did yesterday. If I'm 1-7, I want nothing to do with that 7-6 Rams team. But yes, Skull has to be very upset with the Lions and Packers in that division only being the 5th spot.
Charles, if I give you the Rams and the Falcons, both those teams 1 game back of winning their division, which team has a better chance to host a first-round playoff game?
I actually like the Falcons because they have the Raiders, Giants, Commanders, and then the Panthers, while the Rams have a much harder schedule. The 49ers, Jets, then the Cardinals and Seahawks to end their season. So I think the Falcons actually have an easier path to glory.
That's a good job right there. So there you go. You got teams still in the hunt as Week 14 wraps tonight with Monday Night Football, Bengals and Cowboys. Every show here on Driving the Line, every weekday, our man Raphael, he's got our stat of the day. Let's see what it is today. What do you have for us, Raphael? Come on.
Well, yesterday we had a dud of a football game with no points, but tonight the over has hit in 16 of the last 20 home games for the Dallas Cowboys. We will see touchdowns tonight.
So you're essentially just telling us the Cowboys don't play defense at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't tell my brother that. Don't tell my brother that.
Yeah. AB, we also want to make sure the crew, all of us, we're playing something together tonight. The Howie Schwab crew play of the day. What's the consensus?
Crew's been on fire. They're going with the Bengals here. -5.5, taking the Bengals with the spread on the road. So where the crew goes, I go. Bengal up.
All right. Bengals -5.5. That's what we're all playing there. Let's get some final words from everybody. AB, what are we expecting? Are we going to have a fun game tonight, or are we going to wind up shutting this thing off mid-third quarter and going to sleep?
No, we're going to have a great game tonight. Like, just because who the hell cares? Like, just throw everything against the wall and see what you got to stick. I think it's going to be a fun one, man.
Raphael, parting words?
It's a great day because the Simpsons are playing football tonight. I can't wait to watch it.
Charles, are we into this game tonight?
Love this game. And if you had a bad weekend, this is your opportunity to rebound. But yeah, I think we see plenty of points. I think the Cowboys keep it close.
That's right. That's why you're here with us on DTL. If you had a rough little weekend, I don't know what I want to call it, chasing, but we give you an opportunity here to get in the win column. A lot of action tonight. Hopefully we're able to help you guys set you in the straight direction to get a bunch of green check marks here this evening. You could hear me, by the way, tonight with all of your post-Monday Night Football coverage. I host ESPN Radio Game Night every Monday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I'll have all your post-game reaction there. And, of course, make sure you're tuning into DTL Primetime Live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Love having you guys part of the crew. Love the participation. Excellent job by everybody today. Coach will be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. This has been Driving the Line.